And today we're talking bad cholesterol. I'm giving you 10 quick ways to improve your cholesterol numbers. Now, why should you even care about improving your cholesterol numbers? Well, because if you have high cholesterol, it can lead to clogged arteries, which can then lead to heart attacks, strokes, poor circulation. So we want to lower the bad cholesterol. Now, cholesterol is not all bad. In fact, we actually need some cholesterol to survive. Cholesterol helps us to make certain hormones like testosterone, as well as estrogen. It also helps us to make cell membranes and to produce vitamin D. But when you have excessive bad cholesterol, that's when you get the bad news. Now, if you've been told in the past that you have high cholesterol, your physician has probably talked to you about medications. And we do have excellent medications for lowering cholesterol. But guess what? We also have excellent lifestyle modifications that can help you to lower your cholesterol as well. And that's what we're talking about today. Now, there is something that we consider a good cholesterol, and that is the HDL, high density lipoprotein. And remember, H for high. We want the HDL to be high because it's actually good. Consult with your physician to find out what your number should be, but certainly if the number is greater than 60 for your HDL, that's wonderful. But the range could be anywhere from 35 to 80 even, but we want the HDL to be high. That's a good cholesterol. And then we have the bad cholesterol. You're probably familiar with LDL, low density lipoprotein. Remember, L for low. We want the LDL to be low because it's bad. If it's high, it can cause inflammation. It can cause high cholesterol that sticks to your blood vessels and causes heart disease. Again, you want to consult with your physician to find out your target LDL number, but less than 100 milligrams per deciliter is one of the common goals for an LDL. We want it to be low. There are other bad cholesterols that we want to be low, such as VLDL, or very low density lipoprotein, or IDL, intermediate density lipoprotein, also triglycerides. We want all of these to be low. You see, cholesterol is this waxy, fatty material that floats around in your blood vessels when it's in excess. And if it combines with inflammatory cells and platelets and calcium, and it binds to an inflamed blood vessel, well, then it can cause an atheroma, or it can cause a plaque that can lead to an occlusion or a blockage of the blood vessel. So what happens if you get a cholesterol-laden plaque in your heart artery? Well, it can lead to a heart attack. If you get it in a brain artery or a brain vessel, it can lead to a stroke. If you get it in arteries that supply your legs and help with your circulation, you can get a poor circulation. So it is very important to have proper cholesterol numbers, and you want to lower the bad cholesterols. So let's talk about it. Here are 10 quick ways to improve your cholesterol numbers. Tip 1, eat a heart-healthy diet. In order to improve your cholesterol numbers, you want to eat a diet that's high in soluble fiber, high in antioxidants, high in minerals, high in omega-3 fatty acids. You want to eat foods that are going to help you to absorb the bad cholesterol while maintaining the good cholesterol. You also want to avoid eating certain foods. You want to avoid saturated fats and avoid trans fats. So let's start with the foods you want to avoid in order to improve your cholesterol numbers. You want to avoid fried foods, okay? You want to avoid French fries, fried chicken, fried fish. You want to avoid commercially baked goods like cookies and cakes and pies. You also want to avoid cooking with shortening, okay? You want to avoid cooking with oils that are solid at room temperature. Now let's talk about some of the heart-healthy foods that you actually want to incorporate in your diet when trying to improve your cholesterol number. Again, you want to eat foods that are high in fiber, high in antioxidants. So you want to eat chia seeds. Those are loaded with antioxidants, so they're anti-inflammatory and good for absorbing cholesterol. You also want to eat leafy green vegetables like the cruciferous vegetables, cabbage, broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, all good for helping to lower your cholesterol. Other healthy choices are berries like blackberries, raspberries, bananas. You want to eat avocados, oats. So you want to cook with oils that are liquid at room temperature, like extra virgin olive oil. I say extra virgin olive oil because that means that it's processed less and you have more of the antioxidants. Tip 2, reduce saturated fats and the trans fats in your diet. Now first, let me just let you know, fat does have its place. It's not all bad. We need fat to help to protect our organs, and we need fat in our bodies to help us to regulate body temperature, but we don't need excess fat. And when it comes to food, fat in the food can actually, improve the texture or even enhance the flavor in some cases. But now let's talk about the bad fat that you eat. That's the trans fats and the saturated fats. Now, the trans fats come mostly from partially hydrogenated oil, and trans fats increase bad cholesterol. They increase the LDL. Saturated fats also increase your bad cholesterol, so you want to avoid eating trans fats and saturated fats. One helpful way to identify saturated fats is to use the acronym SAT. If the fat is solid at room temperature, if it comes from an animal source like red meat, or if it's one of the tropical oils like coconut oil or palm oil, then it's likely a saturated fat and it can increase your bad cholesterol. You want to avoid it. Now let's talk about some of the fats that you should be eating in order to improve your cholesterol numbers. You want to eat the unsaturated fats, like the monounsaturated fats as well as the polyunsaturated fats, because these actually help you to improve your cholesterol numbers. Some examples of monounsaturated fats include Oils like olive oil, sesame oil, peanut oil, avocado oil, also peanut butter, and many nuts and seeds are examples of monounsaturated fats. Some polyunsaturated fats include things like soybeans, tofu, sunflower seeds, also omega-3 fatty acids. Fatty fish has a lot of polyunsaturated fats. Chia seeds and flax seeds have polyunsaturated fats as well. These are good. These help you to improve your cholesterol numbers. Here are some healthy tips on how to switch out bad fats for good fats. When you are cooking, make sure you cook with oils that are liquid at room temperature. Remember, the monounsaturated fats and the polyunsaturated fats, these tend to be liquid at room temperature as opposed to those trans fats and saturated fats, which are solid at room temperature. Also, you want to perhaps add flaxseed to your yogurt, add flaxseed to your salads. Make sure you snack on nuts that have some of these healthy fats in them. And avoid like really creamy dressings and make your own dressing. Use vinegar, use olive oil, use garlic, things of that nature in order to avoid some of these bad fats. Tip 3, increase soluble fiber in your diet. And yes, there are foods that have soluble fiber. I'll give you some examples. Also, when you're picking up maybe some fiber supplements or you're just eating a food and you're not quite sure, take a look at the label if it's labeled, and it will tell you how many grams of soluble fiber it has. Soluble fiber helps you to absorb that bad cholesterol like LDL while still allowing you to maintain your good cholesterol like HDL. Some examples of foods with high soluble fiber include bran, flax seeds, oats, beans, also raspberries, blackberries, bananas. Tip 4, regular exercise. You know you want to exercise. When you exercise, that helps you to maintain a healthy weight. And we know that being overweight or living with obesity puts you at higher risk for high cholesterol. So exercise. According to the American Heart Association, most adults should be exercising for at least 150 minutes per week. So that's about 30 minutes a day for at least 5 days a week. Consult with your physician before starting an exercise program. You may be someone who likes HIIT training or high intensity training, and that may be something that helps you. Also walking or swimming. And you don't have to always be going to a gym. You can even choose to use the stairs instead of using the elevator. You can walk around your neighborhood, but definitely exercising is another tip for maintaining good cholesterol numbers. Tip 5, maintain a healthy weight. Again, if you are a person who is living with obesity, that will increase your risk for having a high cholesterol and consequently having clogged arteries, increasing your risk for heart disease, strokes, poor circulation. So in addition to the exercise we mentioned, you also want to make sure that you have a healthy diet that is high in protein, high in green leafy vegetables, high in fruits and vegetables, and that you eat the calories that are appropriate for your body. Be sure to consult with your physician to find out what weight is a healthy weight for you. Now, historically, we have used BMI as a determinant on whether or not a person was overweight or living with obesity. But there are also other ways to determine your healthy weight, like body composition. Be sure to consult with your physician and to find out various ways to help you to reach your weight goals so that you can have good cholesterol numbers.